Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26 with the Chicago White Sox. In our previous episode, we finally cleared the logjam, and we said goodbye to longtime White Sox player, Bill Shiflett. And in his place, we have moved Danny Rios to DH, the spot he was born to play. We added Orlando Rodriguez as a couple-year experiment, someone to hold down the fort in the outfield. We added a new catcher in Adam Smith. Adam Smith has, at the very least against left-handed pitching, is going to be our starting catcher. Actually, his starting catcher across the board, that's right. What else has changed? That's basically it. Edwin Hernandez now plays first base full time, so he'll actually see his WAR tick up because he won't be damaged by the DH position. Pitching wise, our big trade was for Fosco Cardia here. Mr. Cardia we have for 2 seasons, and he's meant to be a stabilizing force at the top of our rotation. We still have Andrew Picar, Oscar Balboa, Alex Garcia, and Chris Waters. Bullpen-wise, we're a little bit weak. We're a little bit sus. Beyond Jay Horner and Raul Barrera, we've got guys that could be great someday, but very few that really inspire confidence. We're desperately hoping that Jaden Charles does the stupid thing and opts out of his contract, but I know that he... Oh no, we've already passed that part, right. So yeah. This is going to be a fascinating season. I think the offense, having Danny Rios just out of the field should make the whole team better. And with adding Cardia, I think we got a chance to see an improvement to the rotation. I am concerned about the bullpen. And I'm a little concerned about our overall depth. We don't really have a proper center fielder. If anything should happen to Anthony Pack Jr., which is why we signed him to a new contract. But we have some people that could fill the role, like Brian Bittner. If Mr. Bittner can apply himself well to his game time in AAA, I think he could be a starting center fielder, or at least a starting outfielder for us, for sure. Don't sleep on Mr. Solorzano here. How do you have one at bat for the Angels? Oh, because I took him in the Rule 5. That's how he showed up here. Yeah. Oh, I see. The Angels took him and then gave him back to us. He has a realistic chance to actually play games for us if the right situations happened, but that is where we're at, my friends. Let's see what we can accomplish. Let's get started. Of all the pitchers to be injured, Jaden Charles is no longer the crucial player he once was. He's fine, don't get me wrong. But I have other players I'd like to give opportunities to, like a Matt Cooner. So we're gonna snap him up here. You're gonna get some middle relief work in, I think. Yeah. Cool. I think this is going to be the kind of team where we're really going to want to push as hard as we can to score as many runs as we can. We might occasionally win through superior pitching, but I don't count on it. Especially now that Jay Horner is injured, evidently. Player development. I'd love to start seeing some of our relievers take steps forward. I'd like to start getting some young players some more playing time here. Unlike the Rockies, don't forget we can always add relievers if we need them, if we find ourselves desperately lacking. Alright, we've barely played it all. Let's just keep it going. So lost Jay Horner for the entire season, essentially. So now we have to figure out a solution to a problem that was already kind of bad and is now infinitely worse. Where are we going to find the kind of reliever that... Okay, so Barrera obviously closes. Like, that part is easy. But I need a high-quality reliever from somewhere. Who's on the trading block right now? I also can't add any money. That's embarrassing. I guess it's Tyler Rockel. No, I can't have another lefty, can I? That's too many lefties. It's an excessive number of lefties. But did Jose Hernandez just utterly shit the bed, or am I thinking of the Jose Hernandez in the Rocky series? I mean, this guy sucks, but he's not the guy that I thought he was, so that's reasonable. That's a reasonable take. Does anybody want to give me a reliever? Ricky Wilson is really good, but he's a starter, and I don't need one of those right now. Alright. Who do I have that could probably turn into a quality reliever? Anybody want Tobias Kubak? Is anybody like, holy shit? Tobias Kubak? Damn. What if I traded Solar Sano and got a reliever out? I got a reliever that way. Only relievers, please. Brian Martin is looking like the best candidate here. No, Chance Livingston is. Chance Livingston is fucking phenomenal. Welcome to the team. Oh, apparently he's a jerk? I genuinely don't care. I needed a high-quality reliever and we got one. Barrera's a little bit more Major League experience than you are, Mr. Livingston. I'm gonna go ahead and make you a closer. I'm gonna make you a setup guy, sorry. And we'll see how you do. Goodbye, Solar Sono. I would say that I'd miss you, but I probably wasn't going to. Jaden Charles is back. Amazing. Does anybody... Oh, he probably doesn't want to be traded, I bet. I'm going to rehab you for now. I mean, Jay Horner probably wasn't coming back anyway, so this doesn't hurt as much as it could. But it would be a slight improvement. Maybe. Conceivably. We're not scoring consistently. That gives me some concerns. Adam Wise losing your stuff at 25 is a bad look. You don't want to do that. Andrew Picard throws even more strikes. That's incredible. Love that for us. Modafi, I appreciate what you're improving. This is what has to get better. You have to start throwing strikes. That is your number one obstacle to making the major leagues. Gabriel Green added a new pitch and then got substantially worse. That's disappointing. But then Justin Ferris adds one and gets substantially better, so... You already threw a splitter, dude. A forkball is not really that new of a pitch. In case you're not familiar with the differences, forkball is basically just a slower pitch. It's closer to being a changeup than it is to being a fastball. For a lot of people. So, yeah. It's Ishmael Galindo. Why do I care about Eric Epperly? Why am I getting news about him? He was my draft pick at one point, evidently. Oh, they took him in the expansion draft. Okay, well, I can't get upset about that, really. Alright. Alberto Maini is mostly doing his job. Mostly. He's an utter disaster on the base paths, which is problematic. Herb Berry's off to a bit of a cold start, but it's a bit of a misnomer. I think he just needs to warm up a little bit. Hernandez and Rios could not be happier with their new roles. Orlando Rodriguez could not be more of a disappointment. And then Danforth Halpern III is still looking pretty good. All right. So we're instantly doing this right now. I don't want Orlando Rodriguez hitting fifth anymore when he clearly can't handle it. Pitching wise, Cardia is struggling. Cardia has not adjusted well to his new team. Pitch better, fucker. Picard looks great. Garcia looks good. Balboa, not so much. It looks like Balboa's walk rate has spiked considerably. He's also at the point in his career where we're planning to start thinking about replacing him too. We should see a lot of turnover in this rotation next year, potentially. Chris Waters just keep chugging along. That's the thing he's allowed to do. Alex Garcia looks pretty solid, so yeah. I think Cardia will figure it out. I'm not that worried about him because he does have this long track record of success at the major league level. He maybe just needs a bit of help. Raul Barrera is off to an ice cold start. He's just getting obliterated, which is not a great look for a future closer. You're just getting hit, bro, and you're walking people, and you're giving up home runs. You're basically doing everything wrong. So we're going to need to see some of this stuff settle out a little bit in the month of May. But so far, other than moving Orlando Rodriguez down the lineup, we're going to keep things as they are. Let's advance to June. I wish I could trade Jade Charles so badly. Adam Wiley is stuck on the club. Like, I genuinely don't have somebody I could demote other than Cooner, so I think that's what we do. I'm not happy about it, but I think we have to do it. Just because, look, I have to put him somewhere, and this at least makes him useful. Alright. Let's keep it going. Almost none of my long-term starting contracts have worked out in this save. It just seems like I keep finding the wrong pitcher and giving them extensions. Alright, 3 weeks. This is ample time to give Adam Wiley his first few starts of the season. Jaden Charles shifts to being the emergency starter, and we find a new reliever to toss some innings whenever we need them. I could just bring Cooner back. Cooner. Calling him Cooner makes him sound vaguely naughty, but he's not. Okay. That really sucks. Chris Hernandez is a shockingly important piece of this lineup. It's probably Bittner, in all honesty, is going to be playing the outfield for us. Yeah, get in right field, Bittner. Oh, this is how I need to add him. I always forget that if you add him here, it just automatically updates their position, so you have to think about it. Low-key losing Hernandez sucks. Because Hernandez had a really important role to play on this team. Bittner might get there someday where he's a highly valuable member of the outfield. His arm strength is awful, and that could hurt his ability to be an effective outfielder. We'll just have to see what happens here, guys. We'll have to see. Is that Jason Bliss? It is Jason Bliss. Hovering around 500 is not where I want to be, but it's still very early in the season, obviously, so we don't want to overreact too much. I mean, Fosco Card is throwing harder at 90, at 31. That's something, I guess. Picard lost control. That's the one thing we couldn't have afforded. I understand that we're not putting enough money into development. That's probably something that's actually hurt this team pretty substantially. That's just something we have to accept. But that is a genuine concern I have. Yeah, the top 4 hitters are all playing very effectively. Even Herb Berry, although his numbers don't look as maybe as raw impressive, but they're still pretty good. But then it just completely disintegrates it. Like Dan Halpern is fine. Dan Halpern is not the problem here. It's everybody else. And given that this is supposed to be two spots supposed to be high offense in the outfield, and I have very strong concerns about what's happening here. Maybe they'll get better, but like I expected Anthony Pack Jr. to suck. He is here to play good defense, and evidently he can't do that either. This is rough. We're gonna need some substantial upgrades, or we're gonna need people to figure out their shit if we are gonna actually make the postseason and do any damage when we're there. Orlando Rodriguez is very clearly a bust. This is very clearly a stupid decision, and I hate that we made it. He has nothing to offer at this point. A 314 slugging percentage is not what we would call a good thing. I will happily play Chris Ehrlich over him if I can just get rid of Rodriguez. I did not just want relievers. My apologies, game. I was not trying to mislead you. I don't hate Jonathan Holstrom. He's an old friend, by the way. We could bring him back, maybe, but I don't think he really moves the needle for me. Greg Buchanan is fine, I guess. Like, he's not the worst choice I could make. I'd rather trade for Victor Ramirez and then trade Ramirez. I think that's the path here, because I have no use for Victor Ramirez. I don't need a guy who can't play the outfield. I'm trying to get younger / better. That's my goal here. Really? Nobody wants Victor Ramirez, huh? You know what, my friend? I'm going to put you on the 40-man, and then I'm instantly going to waive you. I guess I can't waive him until I put him on the roster, then I can waive him. Understood. I guess he just took the demotion, which is fine. And then I guess it's Chris Ehrlich. Like, I think Chris Ehrlich has hit well enough that he deserves at least an opportunity to hit in the major leagues, even if I don't think he'll do it. But I think he deserves the right to try. Because Lord knows it's not like this is an outfield that's currently full of amazing players at the moment. I don't want Lucio playing center, but I don't mind if Lucio gets some other outfield reps. Unless Joel Sampson is just destroying baseballs. Okay, apparently he is. Let me swap Smith and Sampson then. If Sampson is hitting that well this year, then we can let Smith be the backup, and that's acceptable. I just don't trust Lucio in center field right now. That time may come when I trust him to play center field well, but right now, he's just kind of there. Alright, guys, let us now continue. We definitely need Chris Hernandez to hurry back. And I never thought that would be the name that I would say is hurting us. Okay, Anthony Pack Jr. missing 6 weeks is actually terrible. Because I damn sure do not trust Edwin Lucio to play center field regularly. Not with his current skill level. I'll do it if I have to, but I really wish we had a good defensive center fielder. Bobby Pena is not that guy. I forgot about Garrett Kozic. You could bring him back. That'd be kind of fun, actually. It'd be a fun little Easter egg. He's not a great outfielder anymore, though. That's the thing. This is brutal, guys. AJ Pacala is also pretty terrible at playing center field. I guess it is Lucio. And I think just for the memes, we will go ahead and let Garrett Kozic have a return to the roster. This is not great. Oh, this is not great in the slightest, but we will do it. We will accept our fate. Man, this outfield has just gotten decimated this year. Truly, truly, it has gotten completely and utterly decimated. And I don't know how to feel about that. Ehrlich is tolerable, I guess. He wants us to play a little bit more. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to fight you about that. Gam. Allowing these to be relatively deep is now very, very shallow, which is not a great look. Putting Chris Waters back is nice. I think Wiley keeps a rotation spot. Then the question is, what do I do with Waters? And I think the answer is we tell Mr. Waters to return and get some work rehabbing. And we'll see if the situation sorts itself out. Oh, I forgot to do the combine, didn't I? That's a mistake. Like, I don't really care, but I care a little bit. Danny Rios is hitter of the week. He has definitely taken a full-time DHing, which makes me very, very happy. This is exactly what I wanted when I traded Shiflett. Was letting Rios just vibe and hit baseballs as hard as he can, and then he gets fucking hurt. I cannot afford to shut him down. I can't do it. He's a DH. He doesn't run all that much, so hopefully he'll be fine, question mark. I love my scouting director. He's found us some real gems over the years. I have no hesitation to keep him around. How to keep all my other coaches around too. One person is like, I'm not so sure. It is Rafael Perez, who I actually do want to keep, so we will offer him a new deal. Do I have $9,000? $94,000. Okay, fine. Whatevs. Maini, I am tired of paying you this much money. At least this year you're actually justifying. This year you're actually playing very, very well. But most years you don't. Most years you don't. So we're definitely going to opt out of Kozic's or Pack's deal. And honestly, if he doesn't start turning it around very quickly, probably Balboa too. That's probably how Jaden Charles gets his rotation spot back. Chris Waters gets his rotation spot back. Does anybody want Balboa, actually? Is this my solution here? We trade Balboa? It would save us money. What are people thinking about Oscar Balboa? Excuse me. Nope. A reasonably good first baseman is not precisely what I'm looking for here. Essentially, when I can just opt out of Balboa's contract at the end of the year and don't have to pay him at all next year. I think, yeah, I think we just kind of hang out. Chris Hernandez coming back is legitimately incredible. Bidner is not remotely ready for the major leagues. Not even a little bit. Hernandez can't play center, can he? He can play very poorly. I think Mr. Bittner, you can return to AAA and keep working on your shit. This is a shockingly right-handed lineup. I'm just now noticing that, especially without Hernandez in it. That's kind of yikes. I don't even know what I would try to acquire at the deadline to make a meaningful dent in this team. Because the kinds of players that we need are the kinds of players that will not be available to us. Yeah. I don't know that there's an answer. Other than crying. And watching as Kevin Meredith keeps getting worse. Raul Pereira gets worse. Danny Rios gets better. That's something, I guess. I think we've been too near the top for too long. Garrett Kozic would like to come back. I can't afford it. I'm sorry, my friend. Sorry about your damn luck. This is a much more impressive looking lineup. I'm gonna go ahead and push Samson up a spot. He can hit in front of Ehrlich. That seems reasonable to me. Cool. Nice. I'd like to see Herb Berry hit a little bit better than he is right now, but honestly, he's here to play great defense and get on base and hit for enough power to make everything else fit, which he is definitely doing. Like, he is not the problem in this team. I like how Miami's hitting 300 and is still so atrocious on the base paths that he's still basically like a 4-win player. Dane Halpern has low-key exceeded my expectations of him. I did not anticipate him being a permanent second baseman for us, but he's definitely handled the job well. Do we have any reasonably high-ranking prospects that are ready for a promotion? Not really. Like, a John Cole is fine. If I ever wanted to replace Halpern, it would probably be with a guy like Cole or Justin Rice here. But I'm honestly fine with Halpern as he is. As soon as Waters is done rehabbing, we'll have ourselves to think about what to do. Let's go and see how many All-Stars we end up with. Can you transfer him to the 60-day IL, please? Thank you. All right, how many CWSs made it? Edwin Hernandez, Danny Rios, and that's it. It's disappointing, but not surprising. Oh, and Herb Berry made it too. I thought he would make it also. That's fine. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you that somebody else should have made it. I mean, Alex Garcia's got a case that he should have made it as a starter. But I mean, who's he going to replace? Like, all the other starters are about his skill level, so it's fine. Alex Alvarado is pretty good. I need to save money. I need to tell Oscar Balboa to leave. I did want more than a straight salary dump, if I'm being honest with you. But it's not like Juan Bello is hopeless. And it does save me a lot of money. This is really disappointing. Balboa used to be a crucial part to this team's success. I just don't think he's got it anymore. Action is trading him hurt us too much. It probably does. How about Jaden Charles? Anybody want him? Does anybody have a desire for Jaden Charles? No, he won't waive the no trade clause. I guess if I were trading Balboa, it opens up a spot for Waters. I can't trade Pac Jr. now that he's injured. I definitely can't trade Horner. Nobody wants Victor Ramirez, huh? Not a single soul. I don't want him. I'll take George Thibodeau. We're trying to make sure we have money, right? That's what we're trying to do. And then Mr. Thibodeau, let's trade you and try to get a rookie for you. No, that's too much. Okay. Well, I'm going to put Balboa on the injured list. I'm going to call up Waters. Give Waters Balboa's rotation spot. And what do I do with Thibodeau? Will Thibodeau take a demotion to the minors? Oh, yes, he on the 40-man first. Fine. You don't want to be demoted. Well, I guess that's why nobody wanted you. That's fair. You're not a starter, my friend. Not even a little bit. I'm gonna let Chance Livingston close. I'm gonna make Barrera the setup guy. Actually, we could make Ambrosio the setup guy. That makes a little more sense, maybe. Maybe. Jared Delgado's actually pitching really, really well. Can I trade you for something useful at least? Like, if I have to keep you, can I get, like, a useful player for you? I could get Omar Perez instead, which doesn't change this equation at all. I mean, I might at least be able to demote you and keep you around if I decide I wanted to. I genuinely think I might just release Thibodeau. Like, that was quite literally a salary dump. Like, I really didn't want to keep Ramirez at all. But I can't trade anybody that actually makes a meaningful impact on my bottom line. So that's a thing. If we aren't approximating um if we're not approximating the postseason, I will trade Balboa at the deadline. Probably the Cubs, I expect. Yeah, the Cubs have the number 2 overall pick. 27th, gross. Yeah, we need to do what the Rockies were doing. We need to start turning over some of our older players if we can. The question is always if we can. If we draft any chance, I can't pay him. I can only play somebody their slot value or lower. Brett Smith is a good hitter, but he's a terrible catcher. I don't think that interests me. What about Sam Friels? Sam Friels, I like a reasonably high amount. Let's grab him. Let's hit it right in the Friels, you know? His name is Mr. Cool. Oh my god. Incredible. Huh. Maybe. I like Steve McPartland. I almost call him Steve McFartland, which is probably not good. Isaiah Wright, you're a first baseman. What's the deal with Chad Berg? Why do we not like Chad Berg? He's not very adaptable or very. Oh, because his control is garbage. Chad Goldstein is better. Maybe. Maybe I just take Harlander for the sole purpose of saving money here so I can spend that money on somebody else. A bit lower in the draft. I'm not taking Chad Berg. I'm not taking another guy that has no control. John Davis is kind of expensive. Jim Garenflo is actually pretty solid. I think he's a very good pitcher. Let's do it. There's not a single player that we've added so far that I think, yes, this is a future star. His name is winning. I feel like that's useful. He's not bad. He's got a good enough glove at catcher that I appreciate his defense. He's got a good enough bat that'll probably be able to make that glove stick. Neil Graber is a better hitter, but a worse fielder, which a catcher I don't prize. Orlando Prutzman is just batting average and nothing else. Jamie Mirsic here is okay, I guess. There's a lot to like here. There's also a lot to dislike. He's not particularly incredible, but I think I'll take him. I'm gonna go ahead and drop Aaron Winning. I think he's actually a very good catcher, and while I will acknowledge he's not a flawless prospect, he's the kind of guy that I believe in. I believe he's going to be pretty solid. All right, we said enough money that if we want to get spicy, I think we can probably afford a more expensive player lower in the draft. Um, what is Eric Malloy's deal? Eric Malloy is a pretty damn good hitter. That's an okay catcher. Not really worth $2 million if you ask me. Roberto Carrillo is a very, very good hitter that happens to play the outfield. It's a little expensive, but it's honestly not impossible that we acquire a guy like him and give him an opportunity. You know what, Mr. Carrillo? Let's try it. The worst that could happen is the owner says I can't sign you, and then we suffer. Alright, we like Randy Blake. I don't dislike him, and I will draft him just because I think he has some value, but he's not my favorite. Let's start looking at tools. I know, I'm a tool. Hilarious. Who do we got here that can hit the ball with consistency? Oh, excuse me. I have too many strikeout guys. I want to find somebody that's a good all-around hitter that isn't immediately going to strike out every time. Your bat doesn't fill me with a ton of confidence, but I think it's good enough, and you're a good enough defender that I think you're the kind of guy that I can draft and be reasonably happy. That's at Cemetery College of Louisiana. I was like, damn, son. I like Tommy Carton a lot. Let's grab him. And then let's look at pitching. I like Tyler Payne a decent bit. He's got great stamina. He's not the hardest throwing lefty, but I like everything else he brings to the table. Unlike most soft toss lefties, he can still strike people out. Let's add him to our collection of pitchers. Let's grab. Excuse me. Let's grab Zach here, Zach Frymuth. Let me go for some control now. These guys all have pretty terrible arms, except for Scott Leonard. Scott Leonard is okay. No, he's not. He sucks. I will draft Scott Leonard anyway. No, I won't. That's stupid. I'm being stupid right now. Ignore me. Mike McLaughlin is the correct answer here. I'll snap him up. I want to find some defense now. I want to find a defender that is good at defending. Probably an outfielder. Probably a top-tier center fielder would be pretty tasty. That player doesn't exist. Good to know. Wait, James Harrington is a catcher that can also casually play center field, credibly? I'm in. Welcome to the club. We have 2 above average shortstops, and above average is putting it probably too much, but I think Brian Holt is good enough. We can give him a shot. Maybe. Maybe. Let's look for raw, unmitigated power. Gary Alverson, welcome to the White Sox organization. Then pure, unadulterated batting eye. I'll take Nate Bozick. And then we're going to switch back to the other mode, and we're going to let our scouting director get to talk about who he wants. You want Eric Borchardt? Sight unseen. Done. You want Roger Kerr? Boom. Sight unseen. Done. You want Brian McClinton? Boom. Sight unseen. Done. You want Travis Herbert? Fine. We're done. This is not the kind of draft that I think really changes any of the equations that we're trying to change. This is just, we've got some depth players. Sam Friels has a chance to be a really great player. I'd love for him to work on his defense, maybe. Travis Harlander, I think, is underrated. But none of these guys strike me as this is going to be an amazing piece of team. Maybe Gorenflo, actually. He's a really good starter. I think he's got a lot of potential. I love when you have marketable assets and they're all injured. That's very lame to me. I wish they didn't do that. All right, now Adam Wiley is hurt. Let's put him on the IL for now. And then Balboa can have his rotation spot back, I suppose. Fucking John Salazar has just been outstanding. It's pretty exciting, actually. But yeah, my best trade targets are all injured. Like, okay, I was very much going to trade Jay Horner. I wasn't going to keep him. Nice. I'm glad one of the White Sox teams is having postseason success. That's pretty exciting. I mean, look, we're not a bad team at all. We're actually a very good team. I just think that it's not the kind of team that I was hoping for. And I think where we have issues that I don't know how to fix. Mm. I don't want Dustin Vasquez. He brings nothing to the table. I would do this for Cody Mitchell. Straight up. I don't want Vasquez. And I don't want the money. I just want Mitchell. I mean, you've got a hankering for Bobby Pena, which I find thoroughly confusing, but I'm not going to trade him for Mitchell. I don't like Mitchell that much. And I don't want to trade for a player that I don't have room for. I'd rather trade Jaden Charles or trade Oscar Balboa. Trading Jaden Charles would be amazing, but the guy clearly loves being a White Sox, and I can't force him to change his mind. Danny, you absolute bellend. How dare you get injured? We're gonna run a man short DH wise, and then we're gonna bring Anthony Pack Jr. when he's healthy. I don't want relievers. I just don't want them. Hey, it's Jose Altamar. He's still kicking. Good for him. Can you stop offering me mediocre relievers? Is this a deal that I have to take because I'm just that desperate for defense? I'm not going to give up Garcia and French. If you want Garcia, you can have him. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Alright, guys. What can we trade? What do we want to trade? These are two very good questions that I don't have answers to at current. What is Anthony Pack Jr. back? $3 days. Okay. I would like to add a bat. I think that is probably the most important thing that we need, and we just find a spot for him. How's Bill Shiflett doing, by the way? Is he doing good? It's probably faster to find it in the short list, isn't it? Schultz and her most of the year, looks like. That's good, I guess. Jonathan Schoopman. He would look very, very good on this club right now. How did I lose him? Oh, you got him in the Rule 5. Yikes. Ito's still cooking? He's still playing? He's a borderline Hall of Famer. I can feel proud about that. I'm the one who brought him into the league. I get all the credit. Alright, guys. Let's get started here. I'm just gonna clear all these, and then we'll take a look at what is around here. Wait. Yeah, clear trade, please. Reject, please. Clear trade. I can't afford you, even if I wanted to afford you. Frausto is reasonably good, I guess. I don't think adding Mark McIntyre changes anything for anybody. I definitely can't afford Correa or Hernandez. That's not a thing I can do. Um, is Jaden Charles open to a trade at this point? You would take a trade to the Mets and only the Mets. All right. I don't know why you're. Oh, because you're from New York. That makes sense. All right. Jaden Charles. I would like from you a reasonably good prospect. Someone that's arguably relatively close to the major leagues. Mascarenas isn't so good here. He's got a lot of pitches, but they're all subpar. How about John Blatchford? Fine. I'm gonna ask for like a terrible player, aren't I? That's the answer here. I have to ask for somebody that's not very good. Dave Chavarria is someone I could get excited about. I'm not giving you one of the best players in the league just to get rid of what's his face. That's just not going to happen. Justin Beck is acceptable. I really shouldn't get too greedy, should I? I should probably just find somebody that I'm willing to accept and then see what the answer is. There's basically no way to get rid of Charles. It's just what I'm hearing, which is sad but understandable, I suppose. I don't want a mediocre reliever, especially a bad reliever. Like, a game, you're very frustrating. You're very, very frustrating. Is there anybody that I can trade that would make a difference? Anybody want Jeremy Gonzalez? Is that a name that tickles your taste buds? Only prospects, please. Nope. Yeah, the problem is that Jaden Charles only wants to go to the Mets. And that completely gets rid of any trade value he actually has. I think we just skipped the trade deadline. I know it sucks. I know this is something that we want to do if we can. The fact is we just can't. Not without, like, saving money. Would you have an offer here? How bad is Vasquez? Like, why are we so eager to get rid of him? He's actually not that bad. I think this trade will take. Actually, can I get you to throw in another prospect, maybe? That'd make me feel a little bit better about giving up French. Matt Ferrari, what a name. Can I have Willie Sanchez? Oh, I literally can't do that. I have to just take the deal as it is or I get nothing. Yeah, this trade's probably fine. Which reliever is most disposable? It's probably Cooner. Or Cuner, if you like. There we go. At this point, Raul Barrera, you're being just a middle reliever, and Nick Ambrosio is a setup guy. You want to get the best people into a chance to succeed. Plus, he's already pitched a nice amount of innings, which is pretty good. Christian French, I'd like to flag you as a former Sox. And then we'll end the deadline. I'm a little disappointed with not being able to do much of the deadline, but we're really trapped in a lot of ways. We're really badly trapped in the contracts we've already handed out. In particular, Maini. Bobby Pena isn't the worst center fielder, but he's not the one that I want. Matt Green Jr. can handle center field. That's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, how hard off are we with Brito playing center field? Or Lucio? He is not great. He's not the worst, but he's not great. His biggest problem is that he's not hitting at all. I have literally nobody here that can play center field. That fucking sucks, you know? That's the worst. Fine. It's what it is. What it is. Okay, we get Anthony Pack Jr. back. That instantly makes me feel a lot better. Maybe not a lot better. Maybe that's saying a little bit too much, but all right. Who is the very best hitter that doesn't have a position right now? Actually, Armando Beltran's a really good defender, isn't he? He's pretty good. We could also play Kozic in the field if we wanted to. Lucio was like a perfectly fine corner outfielder, but he's not a good other outfielder. Ehrlich is okay. Let's have Lucio DH for now. And let's let Anthony Pack Jr. play center. We need Danny Rios back pretty desperately. That's a crucial addition to this club. Maybe by getting him back later, he'll have a great postseason if we make the postseason. It's possible. It could happen. Pack, I need you to fucking play this year. I need you to play as much as humanly possible. I don't want to hear about how you're hurt. I don't want to hear it, dude. Figure it out. Dustin Vasquez is going to miss 2 to 3 weeks. That actually stinks a little bit, but it's not the end of the world. We're going to get Adam Wiley back in a week, so I'm just going to leave the spot open. I want Adam Wiley pitching meaningful innings more than I care about Chris Waters pitching meaningful innings, so we're gonna do this. And this is purely because I don't want to run a six-man rotation. Honestly, Cardi is the one that I would replace, but he's pitched well enough that I don't feel like I can kick him out of the rotation necessarily. Danny Rios is back. That is the best news. My friend, I'm going to have you rehab for a single day just so I can activate you when rosters expand. And then I'll have to worry about making a roster spot for you. Player development, Danny Rios got better while he was hurt. That's exciting. Cool. Alright, amigos. Let's bring you home, my friend. Pack Jr. I've got to find a center fielder. And I think it's as likely to be Bobby Pena as it is anybody else. So I think we're going to try it at least. Ah, the 40-man is full. Duly noted. I'm just going to wave Pacala. Actually, factually, who is my best center fielder? It's Rick Price, who is not remotely ready for the major leagues. Matt Green Jr. is ready, but he's hurt. Dan Hatcher, welcome to the major leagues. Anthony Pack Jr., welcome back to the IL. It's got to be serious because let me put him on the 60-day IL. So, yeah. No, Hatcher is not eligible for the postseason. So that's something we're going to have to monitor. We'll bring Kuhner back. Let him get some middle relief work in. I'm cool with that. Alright, so playing center field. Alright. Lucio, get out of here. Danny Rios, get your butt back DHing. Because then I can do this, and this, and this, and this. Because I could have just done this, couldn't I, huh? And then Mr. Dan Hatcher, welcome to the major leagues. You're playing center field every day. Give me a new depth chart, please. You want Lucio playing every few days in center? Fine. I don't hate the fact I'm playing center sometimes. But I want the best possible center fielder playing center field whenever I can. So let's do that. Yeah, there's no way Rios plays over Lucio plays over Rios. That's just not going to happen, dude. All right. Now we are actually in a little bit of trouble offensively. So Danny Rios, like stepping up, would be gigantic right now. Only a week and a bit left in the season, so almost 2 weeks actually. Yeah, fuck you, Anthony Pack Jr. You just cost yourself your job with the Chicago White Sox. I hope you're happy with yourself. We need to win as many games as we can as fast as we can. Mr. Vasquez, I would love for you to rehab. Surprising 0 people. Pacala easily made it out. I mean, that's utterly pointless, but I guess I'd rather him not be hurt because he's a decent dude. Okay, do we make the postseason? Let's break down what has to happen here. At the moment, I am a game back. If Cleveland and Kansas City win, I'm out. But it doesn't matter what I do. If I win and one of them loses, then we're tied and it goes to the tiebreaker. So let's talk about tiebreakers. Let's talk about team versus team record here. Okay, it's tied with Cleveland, and Kansas City beats us. So we really want Cleveland to lose, and then we go to whatever our next tiebreaker is. But then we lost, so it didn't matter. Honestly, I'm not shocked. I am not that surprised. I mean, we should have been a better team than we appeared to be, but we got people hurt at the wrong time, which really, really stinks. Also, Fosco Cardi was a fucking bust. This makes me unreasonably angry that he is that bad at his job. Did anything go well this year? We'll find out after the postseason. I'm really salty that we didn't even make the postseason. But I also don't think we deserved it. I also don't think we were that good this year. It is what it is, friends. It is what it is. You can't win them all. I really don't care at this point. You cannot make me care. You know? This is a lost season. And I guess that, like, the benefit is, right, like, we can come back next off season, make some moves, feel better about ourselves, but in all realism, we need to bottom out. And I hate it, but I think it has to happen. We've got to get good draft picks again and rebuild the farm system. And we need out of some of these disaster contracts. We need out of Maini's contract pretty desperately. We also need a fucking owner that'll actually let me devote more of my salary to players, but you know. You could call a very fine score if you want. I don't know that I'm convinced that it is, but maybe. Alright. Pac Jr., get out of here. Oscar Balboa, not a bad season. Vastly overpaid for what you actually provided. Get out of here. Some people were tired. We'll worry about that here next episode. Let's talk about how the season actually went. The good news. Danny Rios was absolutely fantastic. I really worried he'd lose a lot of his value once you took him out of the field. Nothing at all lost. Great season. Very proud of him. Wish he was healthier, but c'est la vie. Herb Berry is like a tiny smidgen worse, but he's still very much worth the money that we're paying him, which I think is an important consideration on this club. Chris Hernandez did his level best to make this team relevant all by his lonesome. Alberto Maini had his best year in quite a while. Edwin Hernandez was pretty great. Pretty great. I wish it would be better. I'm not going to say that I don't wish that, but this is acceptable. This is fine. Dan Halpern providing incredible value. Very, very welcome. And then the entire bench just sucked mostly. Okay. Dan Hatcher gets a pass. Joel Sampson was bad. Adam Smith was worse. Chris Ehrlich was terrible. Like, this is still a team that needs a lot of work. It's very, very top-heavy. Pitching-wise, Alex Garcia was incredible, and then it's all just kind of meh from there. You had a great season, P-Car. Great season. The walks were... You definitely took a step back with the walks, and that is my overarching concern. Bacardi was kind of shit. Waters was fine. Delgado was fine. Cooter and Itachi J and Charles are both pretty bad. So, there's a lot of room for improvement here. The bullpen wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I thought the bullpen would be a disaster. But it also wasn't very good. And we still have a lot of places we need to get better at. We have a little bit of money to spend after arbitration kicks in, so we've got to deal with that. But this was a rough season. This is a very rough season. And I think the worst part is I don't see things getting better yet. I don't have a ton of high-value players in the minor leagues. Like, Brian Bittner is fine, but he even struggled in AAA this year. I don't know, guys. We will deal with that all next episode. Until then, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below. And until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.